Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith. Today I'm talking about Cluster by Renee Miller, and I really dig that cover. This is from Bloodshot Books. Now, I haven't read the back cover copy since I initially got this book many years ago. Let's check the copyright date, 2022, so 3 years ago. So I'm just going to read the back cover copy. If I can. It's white on this light color here. A gruesome discovery. After human remains are found on the former site of a plantation that burned to the foundation in 1848, Dr. Morris Jenkins discovers a localized epidemic of suicide headaches, migraines so painful that those who suffer are driven to kill themselves and anyone around them. A lone survivor. The cause of the deadly migraines, a parasite of unknown origin, has only one known survivor, a man named Charles. When Morris examines him, he discovers that Charles's abilities that could aid in finding a cure or lead to the end of the world as we know it. The future in the balance. The fate of the world depends on Charles doing the right thing, but Morris suspects the parasite has devoured the last piece of humanity in his soul, and it may be too late. There's your nutshell. For the too long didn't watch crowd, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I've very much enjoyed it. Having not read the back cover copy since purchasing it, it went in directions, it went places that I did not at all expect. All I could remember was it had to do with migraine headaches, and it's a horror novel. And I suffer from migraines, and I couldn't decide what I was going to read. Happened to have my migraine, and it just seemed like the appropriate thing to read. I will say, I don't think this back cover copy is very accurately reflective of what's in the book. It technically is, but it's I think a little misleading. Not necessarily a bad way. It's sort of that shading the truth kind of thing. You know how you can give an honest answer without actually answering the question you've been asked, or giving it's an honest answer but it's leading the person who asks the question in the direction you want them to go. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm talking about? This is something sadly I'm very good at this sort of thing. But that's how I feel about the back cover copy. So anyway, big fan of Renee Miller. I have a number of her books. She's got 3 or 4 in the Rewind or Die series, and then she has a bunch of stuff that's not part of any particular series, and I've enjoyed everything that I've read from her. This starts out on that plantation. So we start in 1848, the Baker Plantation, and that sort of sets the stage. And then we jump to present day, the excavation. They're going to be making a mall, I believe, and they discover human remains. And then things move very, very quickly. I was surprised at how quickly the murders and suicides started happening. And we do have the doctor then. We're introduced to the doctor that's doing a migraine study and notices something of a pattern, tries to find any common cause, anything linking these people, and from there it just goes into wild territory. I don't want to spoil anything more than necessarily has been spoiled by this back cover copy. But yes, so we do find out, and the cover kind of lets you know that there's something going on. It is a parasite. The question, where did it come from? What does it want? What is it doing? Eventually the CDC is called in. and all sorts of craziness going on. But Renee Miller gives us some very interesting characters. The Doctor, who he's why this is.
Job of portraying all of the gods in a manner true to Greek mythology while giving them distinct personalities and unusual motives.
Did you hear that? My Alexa, for some reason, is talking about Renee Miller. I wonder what that was from. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but it gave me a little like snippet of a review for a Renee Miller book. But anyway, the main doctor that's studying, I'm not a big fan of that guy, but he's a well written character. I actually like his research assistant better. I like her character more, and I like the head of the CDC, and then her boss-ish kind of guy is. I like the character. I don't like the person, but I like the character within the context of the story, if that makes sense. Which is always, to me, a sign of a good writer if they can make you like someone who's maybe inherently unlikable, or maybe that's just me and I'm a sick, twisted individual. I mean, I do more than occasionally enjoy a good bad guy. Sometimes I want to see the bad guys win. In fiction. It's always within fiction. I want the good guys to win in the real world. But, yeah, it's, again, it moves at a very fast pace. And time goes by. At points, time jumps pretty quickly. And then we'll have stretches where we're covering a day, and then it might jump again. Another week has gone by, and then we're covering, so it doesn't bog down. It moves at a good pace. I've said that already. And again, as someone who suffers from headaches, not to the point where I'm suicidal, maybe to the point where I want to murder somebody else if they won't leave me alone. It's interesting to read and see the extremes that these characters are driven to because of so much pain. But there's more. There might be more to it than that. I don't really know what else to say. It's a well-written, fast-paced book that went in directions I did not expect, with fun characters, terrible characters, interesting concepts, and yeah, it's Cluster by Renee Miller from Bloodshot Books. 4 out of 5 stars. I definitely recommend it. And my question for this video is, do you suffer from migraines? Do you get headaches? Regular headaches? I don't even know what a regular headache is like anymore. Do you suffer from migraines or cluster headaches? It's weird. I think I don't know. I'm not a brain doctor, but people always assume that it's light and sound that are going to bother me. But for me, it's movement. So I have no problem having the TV on or listening to things. I could even have headphones in. That's not going to bother me. It's movement. I'll have this throbbing, terrible pain, usually on one side, and majority of the time it's on the left side. Occasionally it's on the right side. I do get a little bit of relief, very temporary relief. And again, just a little bit. If I put like pressure on my eye, if it's on the left side, I'll like put some pressure on my eye, and that helps. But this horrible throbbing pain, and then if I just move my head, if I have to cough, oh, that's the worst. Or get up, move around, do any type of movement, red hot spikes through my brain. Terrible. I told someone it felt like a hangover, but I don't drink. I've had hangovers. I've had alcohol in the past. Um, but it seems to me like anytime you see people being described with a hangover in books or whatever, that it's, oh, they don't want to move because it doesn't make me dizzy, does make me nauseous or nauseated, depending on which the proper term is. But movement is the worst thing for me when I have a migraine. Light and sound don't bother me. But what about you? Let's talk about your headaches in the comments below. And as far as recommendations, anything by Renee Miller. What was the one? Retail. I thought was a really fun book. Let's see if we have a list here. Yes, Retail was really good. I think I've read one of her Rewind or Die books. I think that's how I found her, but I don't recall. But yeah, I mean, I'd recommend pretty much anything. Give Renee Miller a try, and there you go. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, I'll have links for my Instagram and Bluesky in the description below. And that's all I've got. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith. And until next time, read more books.